Nigeria's economic reforms remain at the center of national debate, with the removal of fuel subsidy continuing to generate strong reactions over its impact on households, businesses, and the wider economy. While critics point to the rising cost of living, proponents argue that the policy has reduced the burden on government finances, encouraged investment, and created room for more targeted interventions. Vice Chairman, African Energy Council, Dr. China Ndikwa, was a guest on our business flagship program earlier today, where he examined the gains and challenges of fuel subsidy removal and its implications for Nigeria's economic outlook.
He really delivered, I think, is probably the best way to start. And to answer that, I'd say this. One is when you look at it from a macroeconomic level, there's no question that those reforms were needed and they've had real impact on Nigeria's fiscal standing. And you can look at that impact, in lots of matrices that have been released by several organizations, whether it's, S&P, or even if you look at the World Bank or IMF, which are very controversial. But for sure, you look at those matrices, you can see that some of those reforms have really delivered. Nigeria was virtually at the brink of insolvency before subsidy was removed. So yes, it's consolidated FX rate, a lot more stable today for sure, a lot more credit worthy, a country like Nigeria. But I think several. So on a macroeconomic level, you look at our foreign reserves have gone up. On a macroeconomic level, that makes a lot of sense, no question. How has that translated to a common man on the street? I think that's the pertinent question we should ask. Macroeconomics works, microeconomics, I think that's where the issue has been. So you'd find a lot of Nigerians complaining about the real hardship, on the ground and all of that. So yes, those reforms have happened macro. The implementation all the way to the ordinary Nigerian, I think that's been where the problem has been. So I hear a lot of rhetoric, some people saying they want to reverse those reforms. Personally, I think that's not really thought through. That's not fully thought through, because the cost of reversing this will be, in my opinion, probably double the pain that we are going through right now.